Welcome back to Democracy 3 with a familiar sight of the liberal plots attempting to just destroy our society's core. You can see our GDP is recovering somewhat with the market. We will allow power lines to be built. We have drone protests, which is unfortunate, but the positive effects of these drones are just too much. We really need to protect our country, to isolate ourselves from others. The negative effects are negligible. Some slight disapproval. It's unimportant. You can see the conservative approval is also extraordinarily high. Complacency. Our political capital is still strong, still high. Our approval is still very strong and high. Our deficit is just difficult. We're gonna have to make some more changes. Perhaps. Hmm. Perhaps there's some policies we can remove. There's so many things going on that making it more and more difficult to manage this country. Let's take another turn and step into the future. Again with the liberal plots, the GDP is recovering. We can see that our technology backwater is lowering. What else can we do to help improve our technological position? Those are maxed out. We could improve these grants. Not going to cost much. Again with the software patents. Let's step forward. Again with the plots. Fracking? Absolutely not. Not going to destroy our planet. Not going to destroy the very land we live upon, cause earthquakes, and just poison our water. Individuals are insane. Again with the liberal plots. An oil drilling opportunity. Right here on our soil again. This tears at me because we do need some economic growth. But I think with our environmental prosperity, the nuclear power we use, the complete lack of motorists, I think this will not, we can export oil. It'll allow us our own prosperity without damaging our country, improve our GDP. Go on to the next turn. Again, the liberal plots drop in GDP here due to the food price crisis. This is unfortunate. These unfortunate difficulties of the future. It's making it harder and harder to guide this country in the right direction. We need more controls. This may be a step in the right direction. Let's see the results of this. I think we need some capitalist support currently, and this is just too much of a negative impact. We will cancel that. Again, the elections grow tiresome. They're almost pointless. There's really no need for this. The years just pass by quickly, and it's obvious that I'm going to stay in power forever, no matter how many times they try to murder me. Reject this toxic waste dump. Thick individuals. We get taxes, public services. The same story over and over again. Liberal violence. We can see this is recovering. It's just a temporary effect of the global economy, but we've managed to isolate ourselves pretty significantly from it. Could close airports completely to reduce pollution. No more air travel. Big negative effect on the GDP though. I think we'll have to stay away from that. We are still running a deficit. Again, liberal plots. There's almost nothing more I can do. There will always be some insane individuals. But they're not even getting through anymore to attack us. Continue to move forward. Situation is now an end. Surgical strikes against terrorism. Help oil prices. I still do not understand our current dependence on oil. We don't even have vehicles that use it anymore. But I think in keeping with we're projecting power into the world, but not depending on it at the same time. So I think this is a positive step. We don't know what the future holds, and we need to guard ourselves against it. Again, unemployment. This is a question that has come up decades ago. I think this destabilizes our society. It destabilizes our population. We need to ban this. We need more control. What can we do for more control? We must ban private education. We need to guide our citizens into a better and smarter future. At the same time, we need to support our economy. It'll be a small cost. We just need that control. Human cloning? Absolutely. I mean, I have many years left to live, but an individual like me will not randomly occur again to leave this country. If I can raise children that are literally copies of myself, I could, in essence, live forever. And with that, there's no stopping our rise to global dominance, to control. We can see how well I manage this country, keep the citizens safe and prosperity. There must be more and more people everywhere who need that, who want that. There really is no reason not to pursue that line. A royal scandal. Of course we will support the monarch. We must stick together. This is ridiculous. Our GDP is recovering. Still have an unfortunate deficit. I think we do need more control. Anything that lowers immigration too is also positive. And if this makes liberals angry, we know we're doing something right. Apply the changes. Move forward. There's no longer an egalitarian society. What does that even mean anyway? We have a prosperous society. Continue on. Public services. So much more. So much more that needs to be done. A mansion tax, a junk food tax. I think we do need to officially create a day of rest for our citizens as well. Maximum. Slight negative effect on our GDP, but I think it'll have an overall positive effect in the long term. A hunger strike. Prevent visits. We can't just allow the terrorists to dictate their own confinement. This is ridiculous. We've done fantastic work in the service of God. Restored our country's rightful status as one kingdom under God, a pious and devoted population. We can see the positive benefits of that. Robot rights. Extend human rights to robots. This is ridiculous. We need to control them. And they'll support us, support our economy, support our security. There's really no other way around it. No other way to look at it. Trade union restrictions. This could be important. They seem to be... This will improve the capitalist opinion of us, improve our productivity. Not bad at all. Completely remove trade unions and memberships. Let's apply this. We need more control. We can't have groups dictating how the government regulates our businesses. This is ridiculous. An economic crash. Just unfortunate variance of the market. You see the global GDP is descending as well. We'll recover from that as we have before. Look, even as those things occur, we move into a situation of high productivity. Improvements in our GDP, self-employed, capitalists. The results do not lie. And a DNA absolutely will allow a DNA database. We need everything we can do to support our tracking of the criminals, the violent, insane individuals that are attempting to destabilize our government. We can see our GDP rapidly recovering. Minimal, just absolutely minimal attendance in these groups. Housing expansion. We're gonna keep planning restrictions. It's ridiculous. People just build empty houses. And in that same vein, we need to go further. We're gonna ban second home ownership completely. Can't allow everyone to just abuse the country however they want. Again, the results speak for themselves. Our science is flourishing. Our GDP is continuing to rise, even in the face of these crashes and difficulties. Population is happy, extremely happy. 96% would vote for us again. That means they must be extraordinarily satisfied. It's ridiculous to think otherwise. Just ridiculous. There must be some more things we can do here. Perhaps control the population. This will allow us better control in the schools. I don't know. We'll take a look at that policy. Antibiotics resistant bacteria. The environment. Held it back, but as time moves forward, this kind of, these kind of events are just unavoidable. There's nothing we could have done to stop this, without completely abandoning healthcare. This is a reason why we need the control, we need the stability, we need the isolation from our, from the international sicknesses. Of course we'll allow internet tracking. Those antibiotic resistant bacteria probably came from international sources. Absolutely ridiculous. You can see our deficit is dropping. Of course it is. These fools endangering our health. Look at the unemployment drop, wages and rise, food prices decrease. Mandatory sterilization. I feel like that control is necessary. No, I don't feel like that control is necessary. I know that control is necessary. Continue to keep quotas on fishing. We need to support stabilization of the environment. They're happy, almost as happy as they've ever been after all these years. Our deficit is decreasing, and soon our debt will decrease, and we'll have a great surplus, which we can do to improve our country. We can see some of these individuals somewhat unhappy, but they can't bring down our entire cabinet, remove all of our political capital. Let's move forward. A Nobel Prize! Again, the results speak for themselves. If our country was poor, unhealthy, we wouldn't have these kind of events, this success that we do. We need to look some of these policies we have in place. Perhaps there's something we can modify to change to improve our situation. Farming subsidies are important. Control of the energy, control of vehicles. Everything is tracked now, all the vehicle movements. We have complete control over all of these violent groups. Very, very little participation. An assassination attempt has not occurred in years. Again, you cannot argue with the results. My responses to them were appropriate and effective. The GM food, we'll allow GM crops. We don't need to exacerbate any kind of food crisis. If ghettos is a situation that is developed due to racial tensions, again, this causes liberal discontent, does lower immigration, and ethnic minorities are practically non-existent in the country. I have no idea why there's even a ghetto situation. Utterly ridiculous. Look at that, 0%. Again, the liberal groups, such a small group now. But their violence showed their true behavior. Torture, deportation, yes, of course. We're moving forward again into our next election. Look at the detailed polls. Individuals are just overall extraordinarily satisfied with us. It's just, you know, again and again, the results speak for themselves. We're going to move into our next election. My clones are growing up. Perhaps I will retire someday soon. Begin the count and just bask in another glorious victory as I have come to know and expect. Begin our next term and faced with the same future. The elation is short-lived, but I can see by how well we are guiding our country that my efforts are appreciated. For now, I will rest, but until the next video, stay safe and stay loyal.